Welcome to your Optavia LifeBook channel. My name is Christy Baker and I am an independent Optavia health coach, and I am so thrilled that you're here. Today we get to dive into element 13 and I'll be reading that to you. Before we get started, if you could just take a quick second and push the like and subscribe button, that way you know when the next video is coming out, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get started with today's reading. We're going to be starting on page 250. And this chapter, just a little heads up, has a ton of practical charts that you will be using to help map out and track your journey to a healthy weight and beyond. So it's going to give you some very practical tools to do that. So I'll be reading the first part of the chapter 2, and then the last part, I would encourage you to go back to those pages. I'll give those to you in just a minute to write down how you're tracking how successful your journey is going so far. Okay, here we go. Your LifeBook is designed to help you understand the basics of what we will be using in terms of knowledge, skills, tools, and timing to create a solid foundation for your optimal health and well-being for the rest of your life, and to put it into daily practice. Elements 6 through 12 have focused on the installation of the first macro habit, which is your weight management. As you are advancing towards a healthy weight, we are simultaneously beginning the installation of the habits of health necessary to optimize and sustain your healthy weight throughout your life. As we had discussed in element 12, optimizing your success in reaching a healthy weight, if you have a lot of weight to lose, you will be on this portion of your journey for a while. If you only have a few pounds to lose, or your weight is not an issue, we now have equipped you with the skills and the tools to stay at a healthy weight for the rest of your life. In this element, we are going to provide you with a means of assessing how you are doing on a daily basis. We will also focus on measuring your progress as you advance on the path to better health and well-being. Without these tools, it becomes more difficult for you to assess how well you are adopting and advancing your habits to better serve your health and well-being. Also, by tracking both your consistency and your results, we can make corrections and adjustments and correct a deviation early rather than allowing it to ingrain a behavior or a choice that is not providing the results that we want. We have heard about the 10,000 hours of practice that are required for mastery of a profession. As we mentioned earlier, this is a bunch of deliberate practice with proper feedback to make sure that you are programming the right choices and behavior. Pro golfer Jack Nicklaus taught me a valuable lesson about deliberate practice several years ago when I was playing golf with a friend at the course where Nicklaus practiced. As my friend and I warmed up, we had the privilege of watching Nicklaus and his fellow pro golfer Greg Norman practice by targeting flag about 80 yards away. Although we were just getting started, the 3 dozen or so balls that they had hit so far were all within a couple feet of the pin. The tight grouping of balls on the rich carpet of green was like an exclamation point, showcasing the skill of these top professional golfers. Mesmerized by their precision, it was with reluctance that I had to go tee off. As I hooked my drive into the sand trap and walked down the first fairway, I kept thinking about how lucky those guys were to be so good. We proceeded to play the first 9, and I hit one shot out of 45 that was anything like as good as one of Jack's. The day was hot, I was thirsty, so I headed back to the water fountain by the practice range. Imagine my astonishment when I discovered that Nicklaus and Norman were still there, hitting the same shot, and every one of their hundreds of golf balls were within a few feet of the pin. They'd just spent 2.5 hours in the summer heat practicing a shot that they had already performed to perfection. It was the perfect example of making a secondary choice in support of a primary choice. in Jack's case, to be the best golfer in history. These guys created excellence by spending years and years ingraining a habit that becomes so automatic that it would enable them to perform even under intense pressure. This is what we are doing with you as we begin ingraining these habits of health that will eventually become automatic. No matter what happens, you have the ability to make the choice that will support your optimal health and well-being and will operate even when your willpower has left the building. The key to track the day you had and to plan the key is to track the day you just had and to plan the day that you will have tomorrow. That's important. That way, we can assess how you actually performed, celebrate your wins, and assess your mess-ups. You will have them. As humans, we all do. So we can adjust and pick up ways to get better. It's not about being perfect. It's all about being open, curious about how to improve, and growing. We can spot trends like breadcrumbs and look for what we can build on and what we can do better, a better job of avoiding. Your Optavia app tracks your consistent daily action by recording the days in a row as you build a new chain choice and install new behaviors. Your LifeBook builds an interactive, advancing structure which allows you to fully immerse yourself in becoming an optimal, healthy, and vibrant human being. Your daily login checklist is our tracking mechanism to evaluate your progress daily in as little or as much detail as you want. I know that you will want to know several studies that show that when we measure what we perform at a higher level. Carl Pearson, a famous statistician and founder of mathematical statistics, said, "That which is measured improves." Like all the habits of health, we will approach your daily tracking in small, doable steps or micro habits so that you will actually want to do it. It will also be a great way of sharing your journey with your coach. Remember, you can only connect the dots looking backward from your days, not forward. We will use this daily log to track and accelerate your progress. The strategic plan of the Habits of Health transformational system is to make it easier to learn and install an effective set of habits that do not depend on willpower, but instead automated behaviors that support our optimal health and well-being. The way that we establish, monitor, and fortify this new lifestyle is by using the Dr. A's Habits of Health book, your Optavia app, and this daily, weekly, and monthly log. We will develop this daily, weekly, monthly log in this element, and this will provide you a downloadable version that you can print or fill out along with a blank template that you can modify to fit your specific needs and adjust as you work through this year of healthy transformation. We're going to go ahead and stop there on page 252. That was a lot of information to digest. If you could go ahead and push that subscribe button before you leave, that way you'll get the notice of when the next video comes out, and that will be Element 13, Part 2. Thank you so much for joining me today.